Welcome back to the second chapter in our exploration of the Book of Enoch. If you haven't watched the first video yet, the link is in the description below. Be sure to catch up to understand the extraordinary descent of the fallen angels and the chaos they unleashed. Today we dive deeper into this ancient text, unveiling the miraculous birth of Noah, his divine purpose in a world destined for judgment, and the fateful decrees against the fallen angels. What made Noah's birth so unique that even his father doubted its natural origin? And how did Enoch, the righteous messenger, witness the ultimate judgment of those celestial beings who defied God? Prepare yourself as we continue this incredible journey through the forbidden secrets of the Book of Enoch. In a world overshadowed by corruption and chaos, the birth of Noah stood as a beacon of divine intervention. Noah's arrival was anything but ordinary, and his extraordinary features sparked awe, fear, and uncertainty among those closest to him. His father, Lamech, was among the first to notice that Noah was unlike any other child, and this realization set into motion a search for answers that would lead directly to Enoch. From the moment Noah was born, it was clear that he was different. His skin was said to shine with an otherworldly glow, and his eyes seemed to radiate light piercing through darkness. These physical traits were not just remarkable, they were unsettling. Lamech, though overjoyed by the birth of his son, began to question Noah's origins. His doubts grew to the point where he feared that Noah might not be entirely human. Lamech confided his concerns to his father, Methuselah, explaining that Noah's appearance and demeanor were unlike any child he had ever seen. Was Noah truly his son, or could he be the result of a divine or perhaps celestial intervention? Methuselah, unable to provide the answers, turned to the only person he knew who could: Enoch, the righteous prophet and mediator who had witnessed the mysteries of both heaven and earth. Methuselah sought out Enoch, who had distanced himself from the corruption of humanity and lived in close communion with God. When Methuselah presented Lamech's concerns to him, Enoch reassured them of Noah's divine purpose. Enoch revealed that Noah was chosen by God to fulfill a critical role in the future of humanity. His unique traits were not a curse, but a sign of his favor with the Creator. Enoch further explained that Noah was destined to survive a catastrophic event, a great flood that would cleanse the earth of its corruption. This flood, Enoch revealed, was part of God's plan to restore creation and protect the righteous from the consequences of the fallen angels' rebellion and humanity's moral decay. Noah, along with his family, would be the cornerstone of this renewal, carrying forward the divine legacy. Noah's birth was not just a personal miracle for Lamech. It was a pivotal moment in the unfolding of God's plan. His physical attributes and divine purpose were a testament to the Creator's continued involvement in the fate of humanity. Through Noah, God demonstrated that even in a world consumed by darkness, His light could shine through, guiding the righteous toward hope and redemption. This chapter sets the stage for the coming flood and Noah's central role in humanity's survival. His miraculous birth serves as a reminder that God's plans often defy human understanding, and His chosen instruments are often marked by extraordinary traits and purposes. As humanity descended deeper into corruption, Enoch's divine connection granted him insight into God's unfolding plan for the earth. In a vision, Enoch witnessed the impending flood, a cataclysmic event ordained by God to cleanse the earth of the chaos wrought by the fallen angels and the Nephilim. This vision was both a warning and a revelation, a vivid depiction of God's justice intertwined with His mercy. Enoch's vision began with a vivid portrayal of the earth as it was, overrun with violence, greed, and despair. The corruption of humanity had reached its peak, and the Nephilim's reign of terror had left the land scarred and desolate. The cries of the innocent reached the heavens, and God's response was decisive. In Enoch's vision, the Creator lamented the state of his creation, mourning how far it had strayed from its intended harmony. Yet, amidst his sorrow, there was determination, a plan to restore balance and preserve the righteous. The flood, as revealed to Enoch, was not merely a punishment, it was a divine reset. The waters would wash away the corruption, creating a clean slate for humanity to rebuild under God's guidance. Enoch saw torrents of water engulfing the earth, swallowing cities, forests, and mountains alike. The devastation was total, yet within this destruction, there was hope. Enoch's vision focused on a single family, Noah's family, chosen by God to survive the deluge and carry forward his divine purpose. Enoch was shown the ark, a vessel unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Constructed according to God's precise instructions, the ark would be Noah's refuge amid the storm. Enoch witnessed Noah and his family diligently preparing for the flood, gathering pairs of animals and provisions as God commanded. This act of obedience stood in stark contrast to the disobedience that had brought about the flood, highlighting the importance of faithfulness in the face of divine judgment. The vision also revealed the flood's spiritual significance. It was not only a physical cleansing, but also a demonstration of God's unyielding justice and mercy. The flood would eradicate the wicked, yet it would also protect the righteous and set the stage for a new beginning. Through this event, God reaffirmed his covenant with humanity, promising that those who walked in his ways would always find favor in his eyes. As the vision unfolded, Enoch saw beyond the flood's immediate aftermath. He glimpsed the generations that would follow Noah, their struggles, triumphs, and eventual lapses into sin. The flood, though powerful, was not the final judgment. It was a foreshadowing of greater events to come, including the ultimate reckoning when all of creation would be held accountable before God. Enoch's vision of the flood was not a message of despair, but one of hope and renewal. It illustrated the lengths to which God would go to protect the righteous and restore his creation. For Enoch, this revelation reinforced the importance of his role as a mediator and scribe, ensuring that humanity understood the gravity of God's plan and the hope embedded within it. While the flood loomed as God's response to humanity's corruption, another layer of judgment was being prepared, this time aimed directly at the fallen angels who had defied divine order. These celestial beings, led by Semjâzâ, had wreaked havoc on the earth, teaching forbidden knowledge and fathering the destructive Nephilim. Their rebellion was not merely a violation of heavenly law, it was a betrayal of their Creator, and the time had come for them to face the consequences of their actions. Enoch's role as a mediator placed him in the midst of this celestial trial. The fallen angels, now fully aware of the gravity of their transgressions, pleaded with Enoch to intercede on their behalf. They hoped that Enoch's righteousness and close relationship with God might grant them clemency. With trembling hands, they presented their petition, asking Enoch to take it before the throne of God. Despite their pleas, there was an underlying tension. These once mighty beings knew the depth of their guilt and the likelihood that their judgment was irreversible. Through visions, Enoch ascended to the heavenly court, where he stood as a witness to God's unshakable justice. The throne room was a place of overwhelming majesty, its brilliance reflecting the holiness of the Creator. Angels surrounded the throne, singing hymns of praise, while the fallen angels' petitions awaited the Almighty's response. God's judgment, spoken with authority and finality, declared the fate of these celestial rebels. Semjâzâ and his followers were sentenced to eternal imprisonment. They were to be bound in chains and cast into the abyss, a place of utter darkness where they would await their final judgment at the end of days. This punishment was both immediate and eternal, ensuring that their influence would no longer corrupt creation. The weight of their rebellion had sealed their fate, serving as a testament to the consequences of defying divine authority. Azâzêl, whose teachings had brought particular devastation to humanity, received a unique and severe punishment. He was to be bound hand and foot and cast into a chasm in the wilderness. Over him, jagged stones would be piled, burying him in isolation until the day of final judgment. The earth itself would bear witness to his imprisonment, standing as a reminder of the chaos he had unleashed. Enoch also witnessed the judgment of the Nephilim, the offspring of the fallen angels. These giants, who had terrorized humanity and desecrated the earth, were sentenced to destruction. Their spirits, once severed from their physical forms, would wander the earth as malevolent entities, spirits that would later be identified as the origin of demonic forces. This transformation underscored the far-reaching consequences of the angels' rebellion, as their actions continued to impact humanity even after their defeat. The decrees issued in heaven rippled through creation. The fallen angels, once proud and radiant, were now cast down, their rebellion a cautionary tale for all of heaven and earth. The Nephilim, whose might once seemed insurmountable, were reduced to wandering shadows. Yet, amidst this judgment, there was a reaffirmation of God's sovereignty. His justice was not only a response to the rebellion, but a restoration of balance to the cosmos. Enoch's visions revealed that the judgment of the fallen angels was not the end of divine action. It was part of a broader narrative of redemption and restoration. As the flood approached, humanity and creation itself would witness the fullness of God's plan, ensuring that righteousness would prevail and his purposes would endure. As Enoch continued his role as mediator and witness, the heavens opened to him in ways no mortal had experienced before. In a series of divine revelations, Enoch was shown the intricate workings of creation, the balance of celestial forces, and the mysteries of the cosmos that governed both the physical and spiritual realms. These revelations were not merely for his understanding, but were meant to illuminate humanity's limited perception of God's grand design. Enoch's journey into the heavenly realms revealed the structure of the universe as designed by the Creator. He was shown the paths of the sun, moon, and stars, each following a precise course established by divine command. The celestial bodies operated in perfect harmony, their movements dictating the cycles of time and seasons on earth. Through this, Enoch understood the depth of God's order, where even the smallest detail reflected his sovereignty. One of the most awe-inspiring visions was of the storehouses of natural forces. Enoch was shown the chambers of the winds, the origins of rain and snow, and the places where lightning and thunder were stored until their appointed time. These natural phenomena, often feared and revered by humanity, were revealed to be under God's complete control, orchestrated with purpose and precision. This vision underscored that nothing in creation was random. Everything was governed by divine intent. Enoch was also given insight into the spiritual realms, including the layers of heaven and their distinct purposes. He saw the first heaven, the expanse visible to the human eye, where the stars adorned the night sky. Beyond this was the second heaven, a realm of spiritual conflict where forces of good and evil clashed. Finally, Enoch glimpsed the third heaven, the dwelling place of God, radiating indescribable glory and peace. This hierarchy of the heavens illustrated the complexity of the spiritual universe and humanity's unique place within it. These revelations extended to the cycles of life, death, and the afterlife. Enoch was shown the resting places of souls, the righteous dwelling in peace and awaiting their reward, while the wicked faced separation from God's presence, enduring the consequences of their rebellion. This vision reinforced the eternal nature of God's justice, where every deed, whether good or evil, was accounted for in the divine plan. Enoch's understanding of time was also transformed. he was shown the concept of weeks, symbolic periods representing phases of humanity's spiritual journey. These weeks encompassed cycles of sin, judgment, redemption, and restoration, culminating in the ultimate triumph of righteousness. Through this, Enoch realized that history was not a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated narrative leading toward God's ultimate purpose. Perhaps the most humbling aspect of Enoch's revelations was his glimpse of the Creator's throne. The majesty and holiness of God were beyond description, and Enoch was overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of divine glory. Surrounding the throne were countless angels, each fulfilling their roles in perfect obedience. Enoch understood that, despite the rebellion of the fallen angels, the heavens remained a place of order, worship, and unwavering allegiance to God. These heavenly mysteries, though profound, were not meant to alienate humanity, but to draw them closer to their Creator. Through Enoch's writings, generations would come to understand the grandeur of God's design and their responsibility within it. The revelation served as a reminder that even in the midst of chaos, God's purposes remained unshaken, and his sovereignty extended over all creation. As Enoch descended from these divine encounters, his understanding of the flood and the judgment of the fallen angels took on even greater significance. He carried with him not only warnings, but also the hope of restoration, a hope rooted in the unchanging nature of God's justice and mercy. Through the veil of divine revelation, Enoch was shown humanity's unfolding story, an intricate pattern of sin, judgment, redemption, and restoration. These cycles, though repeating across generations, revealed the enduring mercy and justice of God, offering hope to those who remained faithful amidst the ever-present challenges of a fallen world. Enoch's visions of humanity's future were delivered in a symbolic framework of weeks. Each week represented an epoch in human history, defined by significant events that shaped the spiritual destiny of creation. The early weeks depicted humanity's fall into sin, the rebellion of the fallen angels, and the subsequent flood that would cleanse the earth. These events served as reminders of the consequences of defying divine order, but they also highlighted God's commitment to renewal through his chosen vessels such as Noah. As the weeks progressed, Enoch saw the rise of civilizations and the continual cycle of human pride leading to downfall. Corruption and violence would resurface, testing God's patience. Yet, amidst these struggles, righteous individuals and communities would emerge, carrying forward the promise of redemption. These glimpses revealed that, even in the darkest times, God preserved a remnant of faithful followers who would uphold his covenant. One of the most striking aspects of Enoch's prophecy was the revelation of shepherds, leaders appointed to guide humanity. Some shepherds, faithful to their calling, led their flocks with wisdom and integrity, ensuring that God's laws were honored. Others, however, succumbed to greed and power, abusing their authority and leading their people astray. Enoch saw that these unfaithful shepherds would face severe judgment, their actions weighed and found wanting before God's throne. Enoch's vision extended to the ultimate week, the culmination of human history. In this final epoch, God's justice would be fully realized, and his sovereignty would reign supreme. The wicked who had rejected his ways would face eternal judgment, while the righteous would inherit a kingdom of peace and joy. This kingdom, ruled by the Son of Man, would be a place where the original harmony of creation was restored and the relationship between God and humanity was fully reconciled. Yet Enoch's prophecy was not merely a tale of judgment, it was a message of hope and responsibility. He saw that humanity, despite its cycles of failure, was continuously offered opportunities for repentance and restoration. God's mercy, though not infinite in the face of unrepentant sin, was abundant and extended to all who turned back to him with sincere hearts. The cycles of human history, as revealed to Enoch, were not predetermined, but influenced by humanity's choices. This balance of free will and divine sovereignty underscored the gravity of every decision, reminding future generations of the eternal consequences tied to their actions. Enoch's writings urged humanity to learn from the past, to break the cycle of rebellion, and to embrace the path of righteousness. These prophecies, though complex and symbolic, carried a timeless message. God's plans for humanity are rooted in justice, mercy, and restoration. Enoch's revelations served as both a warning and an invitation, a call to align with the Creator's purpose and to trust in His promises. As Enoch's visions of human cycles drew to a close, they seamlessly transitioned into the ultimate judgment and renewal that would mark the end of history. The stage was set for the final chapter of his revelations, where the triumph of righteousness and the eternal fate of creation would be unveiled. As Enoch's revelations reached their climax, he was shown the ultimate moment of reckoning, the final judgment that would bring humanity's story to its conclusion. This vision was unlike anything he had seen before, a vivid portrayal of God's justice in its fullest expression. It was not just a judgment of individuals, but of all creation, a decisive end to the cycles of rebellion and redemption that had defined human history. Enoch saw the throne of God, radiant and unapproachable, surrounded by an innumerable host of angels. The heavens were filled with the sound of praise, a chorus of voices exalting the holiness and righteousness of the Creator. Before the throne stood the Book of Life, its pages containing the names of those who had remained faithful to God. Every deed, every choice, and every secret thought of humanity was laid bare in this final moment, as the entire cosmos awaited the verdict of the Almighty. The judgment began with the fallen angels, whose rebellion had set the stage for humanity's corruption. Enoch saw Semjâzâ and his followers bound in eternal chains, their punishment sealed. Their defiance, their pride, and their corruption of creation were weighed, and their sentence was absolute. They would face eternal separation from God, cast into the abyss where they could no longer harm His creation. The Nephilim, the offspring of these celestial rebels, were also judged. Though their physical forms had been destroyed long ago, their spirits had lingered as malevolent forces on earth. Enoch saw these spirits condemned to wander in torment, unable to harm humanity further. Their existence served as a reminder of the consequences of defying divine order, a cautionary tale etched into the fabric of history. Humanity, too, stood before the throne. The righteous, those who had walked faithfully with God, were called forward. Their lives, marked by obedience and devotion, were celebrated. Enoch saw them welcomed into the eternal kingdom, a place of peace, joy, and communion with God. The light of the Creator enveloped them, and they were granted their inheritance, the promise of eternal life. The wicked, however, faced a different fate. Those who had rejected God's ways, who had embraced corruption and defied His laws, were judged according to their deeds. Enoch's vision was unflinching in its portrayal of their punishment, eternal separation from God's presence, cast into the lake of fire. This was not a moment of cruelty, but of divine justice, a fulfillment of God's promise to uphold righteousness and vanquish evil. Yet amidst the finality of judgment, Enoch's vision carried a profound sense of hope. He saw the establishment of a new heaven and a new earth, a restored creation free from the taint of sin and corruption. This was the ultimate promise of God's plan, a return to the harmony and perfection of Eden, where humanity could once again walk with their Creator in peace. The kingdom of the Son of Man was unveiled, a glorious realm where justice, mercy, and love reigned supreme. Enoch saw the righteous gathered before the throne, their faces shining with joy as they worshipped the one who had redeemed them. The Son of Man, the promised Messiah, ruled with wisdom and compassion, fulfilling the covenant made with humanity from the beginning of time. As the vision concluded, Enoch was left with a sense of awe and responsibility. He had been chosen to witness these events, not merely for his own understanding, but to deliver this message to future generations. His writings would endure, a testament to the justice and mercy of God, a warning to the wicked, and an encouragement to the faithful. This final chapter of Enoch's revelations encapsulated the entirety of God's plan: justice for the wicked, reward for the righteous, and the ultimate restoration of creation. The visions left no room for ambiguity. The choices humanity made in life carried eternal consequences, and the Creator's plan would prevail, unshaken and eternal. As we close this second chapter of our exploration into the Book of Enoch, we've witnessed the miraculous birth of Noah, the divine decrees against the fallen angels, and the profound visions that revealed humanity's ultimate destiny. But the journey is not over. In the next and final video of this series, we'll uncover the day of final judgment and the eternal realms that await both the righteous and the wicked. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss the conclusion of this epic journey. Share this video with others who are intrigued by these ancient mysteries, and let's continue uncovering the truths within the Book of Enoch together.